What's going on, guys? Cheerio here, and in today's video we're restarting up a new little series. Don't know what the name of it's going to be yet, but it's essentially just going to be me ranting on and on about certain subjects. Today's video is going to be talking about Exos suits and thruster movements in Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare. Now, this does not mean I 100% hate these things, but while I do hate these new movement systems, this is not to say that it's the worst thing to ever happen to Call of Duty. I do like the fact that they're trying to switch it up, but in this case, I'm not a huge fan of these new movement systems. The gameplay you are seeing is me playing Capture the Flag on Stronghold, so let's get right into the video. Now, the first Call of Duty to implement one of these new movement systems is Advanced Warfare back in the 2014-2015 Call of Duty season. Now, Advanced Warfare had many things about it that I did dislike, and things that kind of put me in the wrong in the game. You know, I really did not like Advanced Warfare towards the end of it. In the very beginning of Advanced Warfare, I was in love with the game, and that's not to say I didn't play the game at all. I still have royalty camo in most of my weapon classes, and I probably have more than 10 days played at this point, but I really still don't think Advanced Warfare was my favorite COD. It's probably my least favorite COD at this point. Who knows what the future will hold in Call of Duty, but Advanced Warfare was not a really amazing COD in my opinion. There were so many things that were neglected in the game that made me dislike it, but that's a whole nother video, a whole nother rant video I'll probably end up making in the future. But we're here to talk about the Exo suits. Now, the Exo suits were good in the fact that you're trying to switch up how Call of Duty is played. You know, you're trying to add a new feature that hasn't been in the Call of Duty game before, but you kind of implemented it wrong, in my opinion, in my way of playing the game. Now, human evolution, we are designed to look for threats horizontally, not vertically. And what exosuits did is they added the multitude of stories in your gameplay. So there was many maps. I think when they added high rise, you could exo jump all the way up to the top of the map. You didn't have to do that stupid ladder thing like you have to do in Modern Warfare 2. So many people would die trying to get on there. In Advanced Warfare, when they added it, you could just get up there no problem. Exosuits made it really easy to get into spots that would otherwise be a little bit more difficult for the average player if you had the regular movement system. And there were so many exploits that came with these movement systems that it took Sledgehammer a while to fix them. There was a lot of map exploits because you could have these weird movement mechanics where you can jump up in the air and slam down, boost forward, sideways. You could boost in so many different directions that so many people found exploits that took Sledgehammer a long time to figure this out, how to fix it. And while I don't really care about the exploits as much, but it's really, it comes back down to the core that the exosuits are what really made a lot of these problems happen. And since we are designed to look for threats horizontally, not vertically, you know, that kind of threw a lot of people off, because there was so much verticality to the game that you had to look up and down so much, because there were so many maps based around 2 to 3 story combat that I don't remember what the name of the map was, but literally most of the gunfights, it was one of the DLC maps, took place very high up, probably on the maybe the 3rd or 4th story. I remember it was a map that had it kind of looked like a futuristic apartment type complex. There was some of them floating in the sky by these little helicopter rotor type things. The name escapes me, but that's beyond the point. Is that map was based on exosuits. Now, like the fact that they added exosuits is good. That the fact that they're trying to change up Call of Duty. But they had maps like that made it so vertical, so annoying to play. And if you didn't have a scuff, or you didn't have buttons on the back of your controller or paddles, you were done. You were not able to win as many gunfights because you had to move between your A button and your thumbstick. Now, at first, I was totally against buying a scuff, buying the Xbox Elite controller. That probably came out around Black Ops 3, but I was totally against buying one of these. Because I thought it was just a waste of money, but I have the Xbox One Elite controller now, and I've been using it in Black Ops 3, and I realize how much of a difference it makes. If only I had it during Advanced Warfare, I probably could have seen it even more of an impact, because having paddles on the back of your controller that you can map to A, I don't have to even touch my pad anymore, where the ABXY buttons are. I don't even have to touch them. I can map each of the paddles to that. And now I don't even need to move my hand off the thumbstick when I'm trying to jump. I can just do that, which keeps you having that precise aiming. Because I can stay ADS, I can track my target, and I can jump at the same exact time. If you had that during Advanced Warfare, you were top tier gamer. You know, you had the advantage that not many people actually had because of this thing. So, I mean, that wasn't the main part of it, but like, that was a huge setback if you didn't have the money to buy one of these things. Now, I mean, you could fly around like a freaking fairy. Like, it was so annoying. Advanced Warfare had so many things that were wrong about it, in my opinion, that your exosuits just kind of ruined it, because there were so many exploits, so much verticality, and you could just get behind people so quickly. It made the game way too fast-paced. Remember when Call of Duty was a gritty war shooter? Now you got people flying around like they're tooth fairies trying to deliver money to little children that have their teeth under their pillows. It was crazy. And then Black Ops 3 was announced, and I was like, motherfucker. I was like, they have another movement system. These extraneous movement systems, we had them for 2 years, not even a full 2 years, and I'm sick of them already. It's crazy that I'm already annoyed at the fact that we have these. Maybe Black Ops 3 definitely capitalized on the fact that these don't need to be as extraneous as they are, but they're still pretty extraneous to the normal COD player. Since I've been playing since COD 3, COD 4, I have experience with this boost to the ground combat, and now I'm flying around and wall running, and it's just really crazy, because in Black Ops 3, we're kind of moving into Black Ops 3 now. You know, you have your thrusters, which they don't do as much as the Exos did, but there is a lot of verticality into it, even though the game is not based on the verticality, which I praise Treyarch for doing. But there's so many times where someone can be, this is a good thing and a bad thing, you know. Someone can be head glitching you from a box, and you can thrust over him, get behind him, and kill him. Now, if you're that guy that's camping in an area where you might be head glitching, someone can easily get above you, and you can't look, when you're aiming for the guy, you cannot do a complete over the head type of spin. You have to actually like turn around to kill him. So he'll have an advantage because he can aim down and kill you while you're locked at the complete up position. Then you got to turn around and then aim down towards the guy while he's falling. I hope that made sense to you. That made sense to me in my head. But like, I mean, it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing, because you have these ways to get around people who are camping, doing head glitches, or just in strategic spots to play the game. But now you can get rid of that. You can kind of eliminate that from the game. But I miss when Call of Duty was just boots to the ground, and you didn't have to fly around. You didn't have to be in the air so much. It was like it was legitimately a war experience in some sort of way. You know, it kind of felt like you were there. You could put yourself in the position. But now I'm flying around like I got a jetpack on me, and it's just it's gotten way too futuristic, and I think we kind of need to calm down. That's what I'm really hoping Infinity Ward does, is they calm it down. You know, you stay to boots to the ground. I will love Infinity Ward if they don't have any of these movement systems. They're really starting to bug me out, because I'm sick of looking in the air for tooth fairies flying around trying to kill me. It's just crazy. And now that I have one of these controllers that has paddles on the back, I see what the dilemma was for people who didn't have them, because it gives you such an advantage with these new controllers and the paddles and the buttons. It really does. I don't know if anyone else really notices it, if anyone else has these, but it really does make a huge difference on your gameplay if you have a paddle and you can set that to the A button. It really makes a huge impact on your game. I'm kind of running out of things to say. You know, this rant's just kind of me rambling on about tooth fairies and your exosuits, but that's really it, you know. If you didn't implement the exosuit and the thruster pack, I think Call of Duty would be a very good shooter. It still is a very good shooter. I don't mean to throw hate on Sledgehammer and Treyarch, but I do prefer it when you're just boots to the ground and you're not flying around, because, you know, it gives you less to focus on. And I understand that Call of Duty does need to change. I understand that Call of Duty cannot stay the same game forever, because, I mean, based on sales, Black Ops 3, I mean, Call of Duty's still alive and well, but you do need to change it up once in a while. You do need to have these new features, but I think these movement systems are too extraneous, in my opinion, for the average old-school Call of Duty player. For new players, it could be amazing, because they're not used to the old days of, like, COD 4 and World at War, where it was just boots to the ground. It's very good for new players, but for those old players like me, as if I'm really old, I'm an 18-year-old, and I'm saying back in my day, when I was like 8, it's crazy. Like, it's really kind of making me a little annoyed, but I mean, that's what it is. I would really like to go back to the old school days. Hopefully that's what Infinity Ward does. Call of Duty will evolve as it will, but, you know, flying around like this is really starting to annoy me, being old school Call of Duty player. You know, I just kind of prefer that boost to the ground movement instead of flying around and having to worry about wall jumping and all this verticality. It's really starting to set me off, but regardless, that's all my time for today. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe to see content as it comes out first. Cheerio, mates. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, it's Thunder Cheerio here while I'm editing, and just wanted to remind you guys that I do have a Twitter and Instagram. The @ is Thunder Cheerio, no spaces, as you can see on the screen. I just post random stuff, about gaming and personal life. It's a good way to get more information about me, learn more about me, and you'll definitely see some ideas for videos coming out in the future. Thanks for sticking by.